Welcome to the podcast, where we teach you how to create marketing that pops. Get ready for refreshing conversations with industry experts, trendsetters, and creative minds that'll leave you bubbling with inspiration. Get ready to turn up the volume on your business. Let's get popping. Okay, welcome back to Marketing That Pops. I am Olivia and
I'm Michelle.
and we have already been having so much fun with Miss Deborah Mitchell today on the call before we even got started. We're so happy to have her as our guest today. She is an Emmy-nominated former network TV producer and now the powerhouse behind Deborah Mitchell Media and Associates. And we're so happy to have you on. Welcome to the pod.
Thank you. Welcome.
Yes, it was definitely a time. We love technology. That's what we'll say so far.
I had music going. It was great.
But it works, though. Let's be happy with that.
Yeah.
So I was telling Deborah that every episode we start with a debunk myth, and today we have a myth for you to debunk as well. So your myth is, if your business is already on social media, you don't necessarily need a YouTube channel. What do you have to say to that?
Oh, no. I totally disagree with that.
Okay.
The channel. Yeah, absolutely. As a matter of fact, I'm running a series on my blog about the importance of a YouTube channel. If you have a channel, you should look at it. Maybe you need to refresh it and get a makeover. But YouTube is really important. Video in general, we know is important, but YouTube, if it lives on YouTube, you've got a powerhouse for sales, as far as it's a place for your information to live. People can find you 24/7. It serves as a sales funnel to introduce people to who you are. And if you have this channel set up properly, you could direct them to your website. You can direct them to your calendar to set up a meeting with you. So the YouTube channel is very important. It's the second largest search engine. So it's powerful. So I say, yes, you need a YouTube channel. So that
we will definitely be getting into all things YouTube in just a little bit. I have some more for you on that.
Yeah.
But I would love if you could just tell us a little bit about you and like kind of how you got started in this business. Tell us the nitty gritty.
Okay, so I'll give you the quick scoop. So as you said, I'm the founder of Deborah Mitchell Media Associates. And what we do is we work with individuals to create video and create a strategy so that they can engage with their audience, establish themselves as experts, and to possibly get media publicity, all by using video. So video is so important. Audiences react differently to video than to text. It humanizes a person, it humanizes a brand, and it's a great way to storytell. I am, like you said, an Emmy-nominated TV producer. I worked for CBS News for 10 years. I was a talk show producer for 11 years. I worked with Geraldo Rivera. So I've learned to tell stories from some of the best. And
Awesome.
yeah, it was a great ride. It was amazing. Television, whether it's you doing live TV or tape television, it's storytelling on a level that is so great. And you're reaching such a broad audience, and it's forcing you, like you said, to pivot, think on your feet, be creative, always looking for stories. I loved it. When the lockdown happened and everyone at home and online, I used to be on the Zoom calls and I would think, oh my God, these calls could be so much more interesting. They had more video.
I mean, if we were running around like us.
I just saw it as a little television. And I always knew that you could, in the digital space, you could create it, whether it's through a podcast, what you're doing now. This is like a TV show. It's exactly on a TV show. So in my head, I thought businesses could use this as a way to connect with their audience and just connect with the world overall. So during the 2020 pandemic, I pivoted and used my TV skills in the digital space. And that's how I developed the company.
Yeah. Awesome. What are some of the top things that are must-haves if you have a YouTube channel? If you were to look at somebody's YouTube channel, would you say, oh man, they need a lot of work, or, oh, this is really optimized to the best that it can be. So what do you look at?
So it's funny, I just had my YouTube channel refreshed because
Okay.
there were certain things that just needed to be done better. You need to have a good story that you're telling. I would say video that's anywhere from 3 minutes to that's the thing about YouTube. It can be a long video, long form content. And if it's interesting information, people will stay and watch it. But people's attention span is shorter these days. So I would say if you're posting on a regular basis, video that's anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes long, or it could be as short as 5 minutes to 10 minutes. So, you have to figure out who your target audience is, the why, what information you're putting out, why you're creating the video. And once you figure that out, then you can determine the length of the video and the content that you want to put out. Your descriptions need to be catchy and eye-grabbing so that when someone goes to the channel, they'll know immediately what you're talking about. So you have the thumbnails, which are the covers over the video, which will establish what you're talking about in that particular video. Everyone should know their brand or industry keywords and SEO because you need to incorporate those words into your descriptions. You should also make sure that you put the information that you want people to use in your sales funnel to get to you. So put a link to your website. So once they watch the video and they're reading the description, you'll have your website link there so they could click on, go to the website. Or if you want them to set up an appointment with you, put your calendar link there. Or whatever social media platform you want them to go to next, have that link in the description. That way you're starting the journey for them. I always talk to my clients about using video as a way to take their audience through the customer sales journey. The sales funnel, the inverted go where you start with awareness, consideration. So you can use video in each of those different stages of the sales funnel to establish yourself with your audience and get to know them and establish that customer journey relationship. So YouTube could be the first way they find you. So that's the awareness of the process. So they Google your name or your industry and your site comes up and they get on the site and they start to watch it and they like what they're seeing. They're in the beginning of the sales funnel and then they start to dig deeper. So yeah, that's what I say.
Yeah.
What do you say to your clients when they feel like they might be getting overwhelmed by video? I know that we know that type of content is king, but a lot of the clients that we encounter, sometimes video is kind of like their last thing that they want to do.
I just spoke to a group this week and I was asking the individuals in the group why they don't have video, the ones who didn't have video, why. And 3 reasons they came with were: 1, they couldn't think of enough content. 2, they didn't have enough time. They felt that it took up too much of their time. And 3, they said they were overanalyzing the process. They got paralyzed by the process of doing it. So, each of those 3 cases, I addressed it. I told them content is everywhere. It's really about sitting down. I believe in having a plan, a strategy, and then an execution. So you need to come up with a plan. Once you have a plan, you can sit down and think about who your target audience is, what questions they would ask you, and how you can answer those questions, and then come up with topics that you address in those short videos, addressing those audience questions. I told him, I said, you'd be surprised when you sit down and think about it and make a list of how many topics you can come up with. And then once you come up with a topic, how many angles you could address that one topic. Yes, how you can address that one topic. So once we did it, they were really surprised. Then we talked about the fact that they don't have the time. And I said, what is that expression? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. You have to do the small chunks. Decide that you're going to record 10 mini videos a week. And you decide on what the video is going to be, what the topics are, and then you give yourself 2 hours a week to sit down and just start recording. You know what the topic is. bring several different outfits so you can change outfits, because I'm very big on changing
Me
outfits.
too.
Yeah, looked like it was taped in real time, but be prepared
Mhm.
to change outfits and dedicate 2 hours out of that week to record maybe 10 to 15 videos if you can. But if you can't do 10 to 15, do as many as you can. But that's batching. That's called batching. And that's what I was encouraging them to do. Batch tape your videos. And then you have it and you can release them 2 to 3 times a week. And I said,
Mm.
5 to 6, stick to a schedule. 2 to 3 times a week is great because you're building an audience. You want your audience to become accustomed to receiving your information on a certain day, a certain time. They know that you are going to download, or they look forward to reading or seeing your video. And then, oh, they become paralyzed by, they get,
Mhm.
I said, don't overthink it. Everyone wants to be perfect. You're not born perfect. Don't put that pressure on yourself. Use some
Mhm.
time to practice recording videos and have a good time with it. If it's not good, don't put it up. You got to practice. Everything takes a little practice. Some people are born naturals. They get on camera and it just happens. I am always amazed at that. But it is hard to think, speak, and look cute at the same time.
Yeah.
Don't
I think
pressure
the
on
being
yourself.
authentic too. I
Be
think it's really,
authentic.
and I think if you're trying to read a script, people can tell that you're doing it.
Mhm.
Just get on there and just chat like we're doing right now, and things will come to you, like frequently asked questions, and you just answer those. I think
Mhm.
that's a simple thing because as a business owner, you know what people are, it's
All
always the
asking.
same
Yep.
questions, right?
Mhm.
So let's address those, and then they don't need to ask those when they've already got all of their answers before they even connect with you because you're already talking about them.
Yeah.
Sometimes too, I think some of the best are, hey, I was talking with this client and they brought up this thing, and now it makes me think, wow,
Mhm.
other people may have this problem. Here's what I told them. I think those types of examples are great because they're real life, they're real stories, and people can relate to it a little bit better.
Be authentic and let more of your personality come out. And that will happen over time. You know,
Mhm.
give yourself the time. So that's one of the main things that I tell clients in the very beginning.
Well,
Yeah.
it's interesting that we brought that up because I did see on your website that you offer media training. So can you tell us like what kind of what would go into that? Because some people might require more training to feel more comfortable.
Oh, well, that's great. A great question. So when people come to me for media training, the first thing I ask them is, have they ever been on camera before? Have they done it? And then
Mhm.
if they have, I ask them how they felt about their appearances. And I
Mm.
want their honest feedback because they do it and they come away feeling either great or terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, they know what you're saying. They're like, "I'm horrible," and then I'll give an honest as a producer. I'll give an honest take. I'll say, "This is what you could have done differently," and you need to be open to criticism. So it's okay.
Mhm.
Here to get better. So we'll sit and we'll look at the video and go through just an example of a critique of how the performance was. One of the things that people have the hardest time with is managing the time in the interview because they don't realize
Mhm.
how quickly 3 minutes will go by. You say you're booked for an
Right.
interview. So I will work with them on just realizing how much time 3 minutes actually is and figuring out the points. I love the power of three. The three main points that you want to hit in those 3 minutes.
Mm.
Keep
Mhm.
top of mind. And I used to talk to my guests beforehand just to make them feel comfortable, have an understanding
Mhm.
of how the segment is going to flow. I know producers are really busy and teams are short staffed, so they may not be able to have that kind of one-on-one time.
Yeah.
Empowered the guests to reach out to the producers either
Mhm.
before their interview or days before they're going to go on to get the information that they need. It's okay to ask. I think people sometimes are intimidated and they feel, oh, I can't ask the producer anything. I'll just show up.
Mm.
No,
Mhm.
this is you have to take control of that time and make sure that
Mhm.
your accurate information, as far as, if you're promoting a book, they're up to date on your information. Ask them to read
Mm,
you what they have written about you as far as your introduction in the segment, because one of the things that throws people is if they're introduced and there's a mistake in the introduction, it throws you off. So I try to empower them so that they realize, what, you should ask questions and make sure that everything's okay. So that's just what some of the things that I tell them as far as once they're booked on a show. But as far as the performance aspect of it, you need to be comfortable. Everything from the way you're dressed to the way you're made up, all of that, if it needs to be authentic to you so that you're comfortable. And you're the expert, so you know what you're talking about. So listen to what the interview is saying. And most people don't listen. They just get it in their heads that they want to talk about something, but listen to what the interview is asking you. And that way you can respond correctly. And a woman in the presentation that I spoke about, she said, well, what about if they ask you a question and it's not what you are there to talk about? I said, there are tricks and tips and ways to turn the conversation around. So that's some of the things that I would train them to do. Handle an interview when it may be going awry, or you want to bring it back around, and you want to bring it back around. So you get
I might need to talk to you about these tips.
Olivia was just on TV a few weeks ago.
Really? Oh, what
Yes.
Tell us about it, Olivia.
Yeah, so here in Muskegon, we have an event called the Lakeshore Art Festival, and I'm on the committee. And this is my first year being on the committee. And so they're like, oh, Olivia, would you mind going on TV to do the interview? I'm like, sure, yeah, I can do that. But I didn't do what you just told me that I should do, which was ask the questions of like, what are the questions that you're going to be asking me? Because, I know all the facts of like the days and the new things that we were going to be having at the event. But then she asked me a question about something, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have no idea what the answer is to this question.
This episode is brought to you by 420 Intel, the go-to source for cannabis industry news and insights. If your brand belongs in front of cannabis professionals, this is where to be. And right now, 420 Intel is offering 50% off your first ad when you book 6 months of advertising. Reach the right audience, boost visibility, and make your message count. Visit 420intel.com to grab the deal and get your brand in front of the cannabis industry's most engaged readers.
I was like, point where you would have had to turn it around. You'd have to say,
I did my best. I was like, oh, well, the dates for the event are this. I tried my best to kind of steer it back around, but I was like, oh my gosh, that was so not on my radar. So that's a really good tip for people to have. Ask questions for sure.
Yeah. Were you able to watch it back?
Haven't been able to bring myself to watch it. But I know that other people haven't watched it. I don't think it is as bad as what I in my head think
I want to see it. I want to see it.
It was like a 3-4 minute segment. So but they had some other footage that they were able to cut in, and I had another committee with me as well. So I think it was okay, but I was definitely like, oh my gosh. And then they threw us into the live segment afterwards. And then I was like, okay, none of this was discussed. But okay, yeah, let's go.
I think that it is hard when it's not discussed. Like I said, I used to sit down with my guests beforehand, but it doesn't happen sometimes. And so I will track you down. I'm like, where are you? What are we talking about?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, you tracked us down, didn't you?
So you have talked to us a lot about getting the content. What's your approach to repurposing like single videos across different platforms? How do you kind of go about that?
I love repurposing. Because when people say they don't have time, which is the biggest excuse, I was like, you don't need a lot of time, especially if you're creating long form content, like whether it's a podcast, which everyone has a podcast. So it could be a 30-minute long form tape. It could be an hour long form tape. There are tools out there that you can use to cut them down, cut the interviews to shorter segments. So edit into shorter videos that you can use on the different platforms. And there are tools that you can use that you can actually turn that YouTube video into a transcript for a blog post. It could be put into a newsletter. It could be.
Yeah.
There's so many ways that you can use it. So I don't know if I know when I live stream with my clients, we usually stream through different platforms. So it's streaming through YouTube, Facebook, and it's great because it's less work for you to upload it. It's already being uploaded and you're creating that content. If you have a podcast, which I urge business owners to create a podcast and then post or air once every 2 weeks. So that's twice a month. If you could do it more, because it does take some time to coordinate your guests, your topics, it takes time to do that. So if you choose to do it yourself and you have the time, you can do a podcast a week. But I would say at least twice a month to have a podcast. Dr. Mark Clarkin, we used to do Facebook Lives every month. And that was we were on lockdown. It was perfect for his schedule. Now he's traveling a lot, so we don't even get to do it once a month. But that video is repurposed. And you have Opus Clips, which allows you to cut things up really quickly.
Right.
Yeah, I love Opus.
So what are some of your favorite tools besides Opus Clips?
Opus Clips, I use Big View, which is a teleprompter. Have you heard? It's a teleprompter where you can put your script into your phone, and as you're reading, you're recording on camera. So you're looking into the camera and you're reading the script, but it just looks like you're looking in the camera. So for the person who gets uncomfortable reading a script, gets thrown by it, it's just like the newscasters read the prompter and it looks like they're reading from nothing. So Big View.
Yeah.
View.
Right.
Opus Clips, yes. Let's see. For scheduling posts, I'm in the process of changing over. I was using Metrocool, but there are so many new ones that I'm testing out. I'm also looking into getting a CRM so that actually posts too. So there's High Level, there's HubSpot. HubSpot is expensive. So people are very budget conscious, which is understandable. There's so many things out there that you need for your business that it can add up cost. So
yeah, we're a HubSpot partner, and we can provide free trials, for clients and special discounts and that. And so if you do have questions on HubSpot, let us know.
Okay.
We're in there every day dealing with it. But it can get expensive if you have a ton of content. That's where it really starts adding up. But, you don't want to put, for example, prospects in there if they're not real qualified. It's based on how many contacts that you can have. But the user functionality is nice and easy, and we like the automations.
What do you? Yeah, tell me what you like.
We do a lot of workflows, and so say if somebody submits a form, then they get this automatic email. They get added to a specific list based on what they downloaded or what page that they were on or what specific form they submitted. So then you really can segment your list, right? So say somebody downloaded a marketing tips, then we'll put them on that list. And so now we know, like, oh, these people downloaded this document. This is content they're interested in. Let's send them more information like that. So because you don't want to pray and spray, you really want to segment and provide the content that they're interested in. Another thing for sales teams they have sales sequences. So for example, you can automate these emails and it will say you have a sales meeting and you present and you're trying to remember, oh yeah, I gotta remember to call them back in 2 weeks or whatever. You can add emails that you just say add prospect to sequence, and it will shoot out emails, and they're not the marketing email, they're an email from you. And people like those a lot better. You get much better open rates with sequence emails.
I actually did a email purge because my emails, the number of emails that I have it's pretty amazing. And I thought I'd be getting more opens. And I was like, why aren't they opening? And so I had to really go in and ask,
Mm-hmm.
or do you want to get the emails? Are you interested in this? And some
Yeah.
people subscribed. I didn't take it personally because they're not my target audience. So, and you really
Right.
want to reach your target audience. So the people who want to hear about video marketing and the strategy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It was a little humbling to reduce my list, but
But
Right.
that's good. It's
But it's
good.
I feel
Yeah.
like whoever's getting my emails, they want to be there. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
That's
so
the thing. Yeah.
mhm.
It's much better to have the qualified people that, even if it's like reduces by half the size, well, we know these people are interested. The other people weren't opening
Mhm.
anyway, so then, your percentages are like not looking as good.
At least they're accurate.
Yeah.
Mhm. So
And
yeah.
the other cool thing I love about HubSpot is you can see the activity of your emails and prospects coming on your website and things like that. So if you
Mhm.
send them an email, you know how many times they opened it, or they
That's
came
cool.
back, they went on this page on your website, or
Mhm.
it's where they originally came from, like a Google search or a social or wherever.
Definitely
Super
like a
cool
private eye.
because
We're talking about data, which is something I always tell people that's important too. You need to know your data. You're doing all this work, you're putting the video out, but who is it reaching? Who's it resonating with? So you need to keep track of your data too. So the metrics, I talk about that with my clients too, that at least once a week or once a month, they should look at their numbers and
Mhm.
understand their audience.
how do you
Yes.
get more traffic or your videos seen more on YouTube? I know you mentioned like, keywords and things like that, but is there a trick to that? Like getting more visibility on YouTube?
They've changed the algorithms, and to be totally transparent, I am not a YouTube expert. I know video, and I know that video needs to be on YouTube. So I wouldn't, if there is a algorithm change and what it is, I don't know that, but I just know through my experience as far as someone working on my site that
Mhm.
it's the keyword, it's when you're posting, you got to push people to your YouTube channel, channel.
Yeah.
So newsletters, if you're sending them out, or your blog posts, have a call to action, to find out more about my video marketing. Go to my YouTube channel.
Mhm.
Have
Right.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you upload a video, people just can't find it. You do need to post it, right?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
For if, like I said, with the SEO and the keywords, if they happen to put those words in the search,
They'll still find you.
you'll come up. So, you have
Mhm.
a niche audience for your marketing. So you're going to probably come up in there.
Right.
Mhm.
Mhm. So, yeah,
Good.
really
All
interesting.
right.
hmm
Are you ready for your rapid questions?
I'm a little scared.
Okay, so for the rapid questions, it will be of this, so you'll just tell me which one that you prefer.
Oh,
So the first one is a teleprompter or bullet points? Which do you prefer?
oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
I would say bullet points.
Okay. YouTube shorts or long form content?
Long form content.
Podcast host or podcast guest?
Oh, podcast host.
Okay. Behind the camera or in front of the camera?
Behind.
Okay.
I've been in front of the camera. It's hard.
Repurpose content or start from scratch?
Oh, that's good. I think repurposed.
Audience or mass appeal?
Mm. Niche.
Okay. And I'll have one more for you. Scripted show or reality TV? Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, those were good.
Good.
I'm like, don't ask me.
Yeah.
I like to have the this or that questions because then you get to know what people think.
Yeah. See my control issue. Okay.
I did leave those out of the question just so I could get them, off the top of the dome. That was
Yeah.
good.
Those were great.
Good. Okay, so I have two final questions for you. If you could give one piece of advice to business owners who want to kind of step into video or podcasting in 2025, what advice would you give to them?
I would say it's an important way for you to establish a relationship with your audience, the know, like, and trust factor. So you should do it. Stop putting it off.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, you heard it. Where can people find you online? Where can they connect with you?
Oh, I'm all over the place. Deborah Mitchell Media and Associates. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm Debbie Mitchell. People know me as Debbie there. So LinkedIn, that's the best way. And our website, Deborah Mitchell Media Associates. Go there.
And we will have all of her links in the description below. This will be on YouTube, so you're watching this. That'll be below for you, and that'll also be in the show notes if you're just listening as well. Thank you so much for being on the pod today.
Yeah,
You are such a joy to be on.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks for listening with us today. Stay tuned for the latest in web marketing and design from ThrivePop. Want to be a pop star? Head over to thrivepop.com/podcast to join our mailing list for episode notifications, sneak peeks, listener feedback, and more.